Hi there, and welcome to the Creatives Get Real podcast. I'm Roben-Marie Smith.
And I'm Sandi Keene, and these are real conversations of two artists hanging out during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. And then when it's over, we'll still be hanging out.
We will be.
Yes, we
happier,
will.
Though.
Yes, amen to that.
So how are you doing? You just got back from vacation.
I did, yes. Was over at the other side of Florida's beaches, Gulf Coast, and it was dreamy. As always, it was a bit hot, but it was really nice. Spent a lot of time just floating in the water, eating at some of our favorite restaurants and just chilling. It was great.
So the question is, did you do any art on vacation?
Absolutely not.
Zero.
I did zero. I didn't take anything with me, believe it or not. Yeah. I think the main reason was I just finished the 100-day project and I needed a break.
Mm-hmm.
I just was like, you know what? I'm not taking any art. In fact, I did very little work, and I often will sit and just piddle on my laptop and do some things. I didn't do much of anything but relax and just enjoy. And it was super nice. Plus we had a little guest with us, our friend Pranav, who is almost 15, and he's been our friend now for 7 years. He moved in next door to us, for those of you that are listening, and he just kind of gravitated to my husband mostly, but has become a good friend of ours. And his parents let him go on his first vacation trip with us. He's been on a mission trip, but not a vacation trip. So it was awesome. He had a really good time. The boys did a lot of fishing, and then of course they joined me out on the beach. But yeah, it was really nice. It was kind of fun having him with us because, he'd never even been to the Gulf Coast. He'd never even seen the sun set on the ocean. So we were trying to make sure that, that he experienced things that, he'd never had before. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
So how much seafood did you eat?
We ate a lot of fish because they caught a lot of fish.
Mm.
And then I had shrimp, and it was awesome. Yeah, it was good.
And is it stone crab season? Can you get it?
It's not stone crab claw season yet. No, it's from October-ish, and I think it's either April or May. So yeah, they're not in season right now, which is really a disappointment because that would have been awesome. But no, didn't have any of that. Next time.
Cool.
And I see you're in the mountains, so
I am in the mountains.
I'm
my gosh.
Jealous.
Yes, you have been here. How many times have you been here at my house here?
3. And
twice
normally
with me
and once with my hubby. Yeah. Because normally we try to go in the summer. Like the 2 times I've been have been June and July, and it's like, this year not. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I miss it. It's not even my second home, and I miss it. I'm just like,
yeah,
cool mornings and the birds, and
it's significantly cooler here, which is so nice. And I just feel so far away from everything when I'm here.
Yeah.
Which is such a mental break. It feels like all of the chaos, etc. We'll just say etc.
Yeah.
The etc. is very far away, and up close is just nature and birds and flowers and inspiration. And it's always just, it does me a world of good to be here. So I love it. Love it.
Yeah. And I get you because, being over because every day I was on the beach. I don't do that here, even though we live right near the beach. And it felt like that. It just felt like, all right, just away from everything. We had rules about words we weren't saying while we were there. So everything was like, these are off limits. These conversations are not going to happen. And you're out of here if you do. So,
right. So nothing pertaining to news.
No, nothing. And it was just so nice. It was great.
I bet.
Yeah.
I remember I have a porch at the house here and a porch swing. And I remember sitting on the porch swing and you were in a rocking chair and I looked over at you, and you are kind of a type A. I'm not telling you because you know that. I'm telling our audience that you are a type A kind of, and you're wound a little bit tighter than I am. And I looked over at you and I could actually watch you like melt. You like just breathing in the fresh air and seeing everything, and every skin cell, everything was just relaxing to a point where you were like a limp noodle. And it was like,
and I remember, and it was just like, oh my gosh, I so need this. Like, even under the best of times, I'm wound tightly. And it was just like, wow, it was amazing. I mean, I could really just, curl up in fact, one of the mornings I got up and I went out there on the swing, and I just laid on the swing, and it was chilly that morning too. And I had my little, whatever that little drapey thing is. And I was just like, I was still in my pajamas, and I'm like, I'm just going to lay down here because I don't even care how chilly it is. I'm just going to enjoy this. It was awesome.
Soak it in, baby.
I know. Well, I'll just have to be looking forward to the next time. So
yes, well, we will make that happen.
Yeah.
All right. We have a topic today, and it's something that I'm dealing with right now. And you've been doing this for a long time. So you're the expert and I'm the noob. Wow. And okay, we're going to talk about the benefits of video on social media.
Mm-hmm. Which is really funny because back in the day, you were the one that was saying to me, you've got to show your face. You have to be on video. And this was before stories and stuff, but really just doing workshops and things. And they're like, your audience needs to see more than your hands. And it's just like, I don't know if I can do that. And now it's just easier just to get on a video and just do a video, which, you can. And I express this to my students, and you can do this. You just have to start it. You just have to start doing it, and you will gain confidence. I've got faith in you. I know you can do it because I know I did it. It just takes practice. And when you start seeing the real benefits of it and you get comfortable, you just know how much it's worth it to do it. So, so what do we got? 6 or 7 ideas here on what the benefits are? Yeah. Okay.
We do. So we're ready to talk about it. So number 1 is increased engagement. And what that means is there's nothing like video, whether it's just watching you work or if you're face forward talking to your followers, but there's nothing that creates engagement like video. And there's so many, you see somebody, let's say you're watching someone paint and work. There's so many questions that come up, like, what are you using? What's that brush? I'm sure with you that you also get all the questions about what you're using and what you're doing.
And the whys, why did you do that? Why did you choose to do that versus, so yeah, those kind of questions come up for sure.
Yeah, all the time. I get them too. What is that brush? What's that paper? How are you doing that? And, it just starts great conversation. And then my favorite thing is when not only are your followers talking to you, but they're talking to each other.
Absolutely.
I love that. And then, I want to jump in the middle of it. It's like, hey, are you guys talking about paper? I want to talk about paper.
Well, and now, this is not on the subject of video specifically, but Instagram just rolled out in your caption area, or not your caption, your comments, where you can actually pin comments to the top. So if you have I think it's 3 that you can pin.
3, yep.
So if you've got these really great conversations going, then pin those up to the top so those are readily seen when people come and are looking at your images or reading your captions. So yeah,
that's a new feature that I just discovered myself. So when you're in your comments, you swipe on that comment just like you would do to delete it, and one of the choices there is to pin it. And
I know. Love
Isn't that cool?
Pinterest meets Instagram. Okay.
You're right. I hadn't thought of it that way, but you're right.
Well, we do it on Facebook too in the groups. You can pin or put an announcement up. So So for those of you that aren't aware of that, it has been rolled out. I can't say that everyone has it yet, and a lot of times Instagram will roll out certain features, but I think it's pretty more widespread now that everybody has it. So anywho, So that's yes, engagement. With that also comes a challenge too. Hey, let's talk about the whole big picture here. With this also comes more time for you to be spending responding and acknowledging and everything.
That's
so
true.
The more that you do, the more time is required. So consider that as well. Because sometimes I'm just like, I have to stay off. Like last week, I'm like, I really don't want to be on social media this week. I was very limited, if any. I want to just be on vacation. I don't want to have to be not answering questions or responding to comments. So, so with that increased engagement also comes your responsibility to respond and engage with your audience too.
Yep. True. Okay. Here's a question that I get all the time, and this is the answer. How do I get followers quickly on Instagram or Facebook? I need my number up. So how can I do that quickly?
Yeah.
Well, video is the answer. Video is one of the ways that you can pick up followers really quickly. So that is a great benefit. What's been your experience with video? Do you see a huge difference in followers, video to post?
I don't know how to check that, Rick, to see which one is bringing more in, because there's no way to know. Somebody follows you. You don't know if they came to you and followed you through a video, or if they followed you through your post, or if they found you because you commented on their post or left a like or whatever. So I really can't answer that, because I don't know where they're coming from as far as my posts and my engagement. So I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well, I find it for me, because I don't have, all these different platforms going at the same time. Like I know that there aren't tons of people coming over from Pinterest or Facebook. So I can tell a big difference just day to day, the number of followers, whether I have a post or a video. So for me, because my presence is less complicated than yours, you've got more going on than I do. I can see it, a big difference, and that's good, because that helps me with people who are, in my position rather than in yours, where I have a smallish number of followers in the grand scheme of things. I mean, there's some people would love to have what I have, but then you are on a whole different level than I am. So yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, no, and that's great. And that is something too, is if you're able to, for instance, maybe isolate it out, where rather than doing multiple things consistently, try doing just video on a regular basis and but be consistent with it and see, do you see a rise in your numbers? Are you getting more comments? Are you getting more DMs? What does that look like? And then see, because everyone's different, everyone's account's different, but if you can see, okay, it's like checking your Google Analytics and seeing, well, where's my traffic coming from to my website? It's a little harder to do that with Instagram unless you aren't doing everything all at once. Try not commenting, try not going to other accounts, maybe not posting as regular on your own, and just do video. Now, when you say video, are you referring to video in your feed or video in your stories, or both?
I'm doing both.
Okay, good. Yes, I know that the numbers statistically show from what Instagram says is that is really where you're going to get more, definitely more engagement, and you're going to get a higher reach. Because I think too, when the social media platforms roll out features and things like that, they're going to give precedent to those features. Like for instance, on Pinterest video, that is relatively new. They want you to use that feature. So you're going to get more of a kick if you do. And same thing with Instagram. So yeah, very good.
Yeah, it helps.
All right. So 3, yeah?
Yeah.
Personalized glimpse into the artist's world. And this is really important, because this can be scary, but it's also kind of necessary. And of course, guys, we're not saying you need to put all your personal stuff out there. We've talked many times on podcasts about this, having boundaries. But isn't it kind of cool though, when you tune in to someone's account that you like and you see them in the real, no makeup on, I was talking about getting free paint at the dump yesterday.
I saw that.
So, and I'm like, no makeup on, here it is, and just pick up the phone and just do this, But that's a glimpse into what I'm doing in my life. And then it was funny, because it was my husband who said, well, why go to Home Depot when we can just go to the dump and get it? And I'm thinking, okay, what are people thinking about, my husband? And then somebody had commented your husband has great ideas, so there's this, you're learning about the person that you're following. You learn about their life, whether they have animals or family or, whatever it is. And I think it just it helps you connect with them so much more when things are not super polished. And we've talked about this before in episodes where we've talked about video, is that the thing that's really cool about the social media and using it on Instagram especially is that you can be unpolished. You don't have to worry when you pick it up and going, okay, now I've got to put it into the whatever software and I've got to make this look good and I don't have makeup on, and think about it when you're like, oh, I got to go put makeup on and get my hair done and all that stuff. For the more professional type things that you do, like your courses and things like that. This is awesome because you can just pop on and just go. And don't you love to tune in to people that you follow and you enjoy to see what's going on behind the scenes and to see them real, you know?
Yeah. I think that we're innately curious. I almost said nosy, but curious is a better word. It's like, you know, what are you doing, and what does your setup look like, and what materials are you using that because you're getting an effect or a technique that I really like, and I don't really know how you're doing it. So show me how you are.
Right. And isn't it funny, because I think we often say, and I know I've said this before, okay, I feel like my life is not that exciting. Like, I have no kids, I have no pets. What is it that anybody would want to know about? Like, you know, you think, okay, well, I guess I could show them what I'm eating today. No, not necessarily. Just pick up, you know, like I was working on painting crates and I'm thinking, okay, well, I could share that. That's an interesting thing. And then the thing about the dump and the paint, why not? So it's just, I think there's just times where I just go, what am I going to say? But then in those moments, just think about it when you're doing things. Would somebody else be interested in this? Would this be something that somebody would ask a question about? And they probably would. So just post it.
Yeah, it's such a humanizing thing.
Yes.
You know, you're not a name anymore. You're a person. And it's just a different relationship. When I feel like I know you a little better, then I feel freer to ask you a question or to engage with you.
That's right.
And I'm not worried about, you know, that I'm going to do air quotes here, that I'm bothering you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yes,
you know, she probably has 50, 60 people asking her all these questions. You know, she doesn't have time for me. Well, yeah, she does.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely. Okay. The next one is building expert status. So let's say that one of your goals is that you want to teach an online workshop or you want to launch a product. One of the things that you have to do is to prove to people and show, okay, I can make journals. I make beautiful journals. So here's how I do it. Here are examples of my work. And it changes how they see you. And they will be willing to, you know, accept you as an expert. Oh, yeah, she does make beautiful journals. And then either take a class from you or buy your journals because you've shown that you know what you're talking about.
That's right.
And video is such a great way to do that.
And a lot of that too can come in like with behind the scenes kind of things where, like you said, you know, you're showing these little snippets or bits, or like for me with the tech side of things, it's showing, okay, here's what I'm editing this, or I'm working on this new training. We're going to be doing X, Y, and Z. Oh, she does training on that. You know, it's, you have to get creative sometimes depending on what it is you're wanting to share, but that does help because then people are like, oh, I know who to go to for that because so-and-so does these videos and she's doing this and whatever. And keeping your name out there at forefront is going to also help other people be, oh yeah, I know exactly who you need to talk to or who you need to go to.
Right. Yep. Got a tech question? I got a name for you.
I hope she has an answer.
She does.
Oh, and if she doesn't, she spends a lot of time trying to figure it out because it's like a puzzle for me, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Next
All right.
one.
So gaining confidence for video type platforms. Yes. So we just touched on that a little bit. So the more that you are on camera, the more that you do video, you will continue to build your confidence. It's just inevitable. I mean, as I touched on earlier, the first time, oh my goodness, it was terrifying. Literally terrifying to be on camera and to be talking and messing up and stuttering and the whole 9 yards because you're just so uncomfortable and you just don't think you can do it. But the more you do it, you just get so much more confident. And these are small snippets. This is like a 15-second, maybe a 30-second video clip on, say, Instagram that you can also put into stories on Facebook. Those don't take that long.
Mm-hmm.
and they're gone after 24 hours. So even if it didn't work out that great, it's okay. No one's going to be saving them and then
Right.
running them on a, here, let's loop all these bad videos that you did throughout your life, right? No. So if you just continue to practice and you continue to do it, you're going to get that confidence. So when the time comes and you say, I'm ready to do an online course and I'm going to actually be on camera and I'm going to be able to do this, you're going to be like, well, this isn't a whole lot different than doing stories, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just bigger.
Exactly. Maybe a little longer, not just
Yeah.
15 seconds, but it's okay because, and here's the other thing, folks, you can do some editing. It's not like you do one take and it's live. I mean, I'm talking about future videos for like courses, but even on Instagram stories, you can still delete it if you absolutely hate it, but just keep on going, don't give up on it.
I was just doing videos, just little snippets of myself painting, and no one knows that in the real video that my husband is watching a Star Wars movie and is screaming the entire, because I'm not far away from him in the TV.
Oh.
And it's like all I can hear is R2-D2 while I'm painting, but I took all of that out and put some nice peaceful music in.
That's right.
So nobody knows that was screaming in the background.
That's exactly right. That's so true. I love that.
Or the dog was barking or whatever.
Yeah.
You just take out the audio,
That's
put
right.
in some music. Baby can be crying. It doesn't matter.
No,
it all looks peaceful at the end.
That's so true. Yep, that's true.
Okay, next one is editing experience. So in the situation like Star Wars screaming in the background, you get the experience of little tiny bits of editing, whether it's taking out audio, adding music, adding captions, adding words, whatever it is that you want to do. You get that experience, which if you decide to do workshops or something else that's online and video based, that's a really nice experience to have, so you're not starting right from scratch.
Exactly. You kind of you understand the general idea of editing,
right,
when you started out with on a smaller level like that. And and it can be also, we were talking about this earlier because we were talking about the InShot app, where even if it doesn't necessarily have to be stories, it could be something that's 30 seconds for your feed, and it could be that you're not on camera, but you're still doing video. And that way you can just pop it in. You can do some quick editing right there on your phone and make it super easy. And that way you're gaining some of that experience. You're understanding transitions, you're understanding cutting or splitting and deleting and adding things to it. And that's not as intimidating as just jumping into iMovie or Camtasia or Premiere Pro. It's a little easier when you can kind of do it on that small scale for social media.
Right. Yeah, it's a good like beginner step.
Yep.
Instead of like pushing you off into the deep end, you get to walk down the stairs into the kiddie pool.
Yes, I like that.
Which feels way safer.
Yeah.
Okay, want to take the next one?
Okay, the last one is pre-marketing for your products or your classes. Okay, so what does that mean? So what that means is you're working on a course, and let's say you're doing the filming and you're doing some of the work in your studio. Well, by doing little video clips or behind the scenes of you working and creating and you talking about what's coming up is a great way for you to pre-market whatever that is, whether it's making handmade journals that you're going to then sell, or your paintings or whatever. You're able to then show that process in little bits, and it gets your audience excited. It helps build that excitement up so that when it finally happens, they're like, yes, we've been waiting for this. Yay.
Right. Yeah. And what often happens is, as you're starting, let's say you're doing a painting to sell and you're showing the different layers and you're starting to bring the colors in. And the next thing you know, someone has bought the painting before it's even done.
Yes. Yes.
And I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yes, exactly.
Than you finishing up the painting and going, it's done and it's sold.
Exactly. Yeah. You get that message. Can I put my name? I want that. Please don't sell it. I want it. What do I need to do? Exactly. Yeah.
Dibs on it.
Exactly. Yeah. So that is a great way to pre-market your products or your classes, or even if it's something that you're doing that might be more I don't know, service-based, I think, but it could be where, I mean, like you do coaching, but maybe there's somebody who's helping others in things that they're doing. And that way it can, again, not just position you as an expert, but kind of market that for you as well. So,
right. Yeah. So should we go over them one more time?
Yes.
Okay. So here we go. Benefits of video and social media. Increased engagement, adding followers quickly, personalized glimpse into the artist's world, build expert status, gain confidence for video type platforms, editing experience, and pre-marketing for products and classes.
Yeah. So I'm just going to throw this out there. We hadn't talked about it, but let's give our audience one tip, like a tip that would be like, because like I just thought of like the main tip that I give to my students for video. So I'll go first. I'll give you a chance to kind of think, because we kind of threw this. I'm just throwing this out there.
That's all right. Let's go. Sounds fun.
I always encourage my students to film with editing in mind. And you're probably going, what? What does that mean? As you start editing and as you start the process of filming, it will make a lot of sense. And I can think of some students that I've worked with who they get it now, but when they first started filming, they were like, they just didn't think about these things. It's things like, let me give a couple examples. So when you're filming, it's always important to include pauses as you're speaking to give you that transition point to make it much easier when you're editing. Also, things like if you're not completely prepared and you have all of your things out, and let's say, I don't know, you have a paintbrush that's got plastic wrap on it or a paint bottle or whatever, it's important not to be talking while you're removing the paper. Because in your mind, you're not thinking about editing. You're thinking about your filming right now and you're talking through the process. So that loud crinkling noise is going to be just exacerbated in the video, but you're talking and saying something important. So now what do you do? So I think it's really important, and it makes things so much easier when you're editing to do it that way. Or, you know, when you're editing, to make sure as you're filming that you're thinking of that as you go through that process. And you get better at it the more you do it, and you realize where those points are and what to do. Kind of attaching, I have one more tip. I'm going to throw that one out there because this one's an important one too. Especially when you're filming for courses, your students obviously want to know what supplies you're using. Well, when I first started doing it, I would write as I was creating so that I would have everything on a list while I was, you know, filming and creating. I don't do that now. And I found that the easy way to do it is to do it while you're editing. So you have your pad of paper, and while you're editing, you know exactly what you're using because you've used it. You're using it right then, rather than going, okay, did I use, you know, trying to think. You just write it down as you're editing. You just write it on that notepad. And the other cool thing is it's in the exact order that it appears in your videos. So it makes it really easy for your students.
That's a good point.
So yeah, so that was another thing that I learned as I went, trying to figure out how to best do it, or where I didn't forget something. I was like, why am I not writing this down while I'm editing? Because it's in the video. I used it, so why not write it down? So that's 2 tips, but so. Okay, how about you?
That's a good one. Both of those were good. Okay, my tip is that I am famous. First, I'm going to tell you what you don't do, and then I'm going to tell you how to fix it, because I figured this out. I am famous for having to refilm a scene because I'm working slightly off camera range. Happens to me all the stinking time. So what I have learned to do is, once I set everything up, whether you're using, you know, whatever kind of camera, phone, iPhone, is I put washi tape. I put a frame on my table, on my surface, so I can constantly look. And if I have shoved something out of frame, then I know I better bring that back in when I start working on it.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many times I've done that. Am I the only one?
No, you're not. What I end up doing is it ends up getting closer to me, and then, you know, I realize it doesn't go left or right. It ends up getting closer to me, where it's like, oh, wait a minute, I need to move that back up a little bit more. Cause you know, you're working close. So you're having things close to you. And so it's like, oh, I got to move that back up. And that's so much easier than continually looking up at the camera to see if you're in frame. So absolutely, you're not alone in that.
Okay, good. Yes, and that is what I do, is move it closer to me, because when you're filming, you're actually working away from where your natural workspace would be if you were.
That's correct. Yep.
Because you have to get your head, you have to get shadows, you have to get your woman parts out of frame.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
I can see Roben-Marie, and she's blushing and shaking her head right now. Like, you did not just say that. At least I said lady parts.
You did. That's totally fine. That's cool. It is. It's funny. You know what? Some of us have to deal with that.
It's an issue for me. I'm sorry. It just is. If it's not my head, it's my chest.
It's my head, because I have a big head. So it's like, okay, and you want to lean over as you work, because that's what you naturally do. And it's like, you can't do that. You're going to, top of your head's going to be in the camera.
So if you can imagine, when you're filming for a class or a workshop, you have to sit up straight so that not only you're not casting shadows, but your body is out of frame. And then you're working away from your body, and you're working and talking at the same time. It ain't easy, folks.
No, it's not. Sometimes it might look easy. No, it's not. But with practice, it gets easier. But no, it's still a lot of work, and you do have to. Yeah. So that's a great tip. Absolutely.
Yeah. So washi tape out your frame.
Yeah.
All right. Those were good ones.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So if you have questions, reach out and let us know. We're happy to help. There's a whole lot more I'm sure we could have come up with for benefits, but these were some of the top ones that we thought were especially important as you guys get out there and start doing video, get some confidence, and grow.
Yeah. It's a great step. It's a stepping stone. It really is. So I hope some people will try it.
Yeah. And please, we said this, we didn't start out feeling comfortable on video by any means. I mean,
I was horrified.
Yeah. Kicking and screaming, really. And I will say one thing I did after much encouragement from you. I thought, okay, well, what can I do to maybe make myself not so uncomfortable? And when I remember one of the first classes that I did where I tried to be more on video was, because you're always showing your hands, or always it's just you working, was I would pop in between modules in the classroom, and I would just do a little check-in video where I was on camera, and I would say, okay, you guys have, you've reached this point in the course. I hope you're enjoying everything. Let me know if you have any questions. And so I only had to be on camera for like 2 minutes. And then that was it, and I just did those little by little throughout. And I thought, okay, I can do that. And then it just continued to grow from there. So anyway, yeah. That's what I ended up doing.
So you start on Instagram or stories with 15 seconds, and you can do 15 seconds.
Yes.
You can think of something to say for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And then you just continually move up until you're doing 20-minute segments teaching online.
That's right. And, I think too, perfectionism is going to kill you. So just try to, I know it's hard. Believe me, I can be that way, but it's like you have to let that go and just be like, okay, I don't have to be perfect. My skin doesn't have to look great. My hair doesn't have to be done. My makeup doesn't have to be on. I'm just going to do this. And so try that.
Absolutely. And it gives other people permission to not be perfect either.
I know. It's just so freeing. It really is. It is. It's so freeing that you can talk to your audience, and you can speak, and you can share, and not have to worry about it being perfect. So yeah.
Yeah. Cause it's not going to be.
Nope. It's not.
No, it's unachievable. So just put it aside.
That's right.
Go for real.
Yeah.
Engaging.
Yep.
Yourself.
I agree. That's
authentic.
It. Yeah. Yep. I agree. All right. Good talk. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Yes. And we will see you soon.
All right. Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Creatives Get Real.
We love hearing from you. So hop on over to Instagram and leave us a comment. And we also appreciate reviews on iTunes.
And you can find me, Sandi Keene, at sandykeene.com, and my classes at popupartclasses.com.
And you can find me, Roben-Marie Smith, at robenmarie.com. And if you're looking for and need tech support, check out my membership site, makerstechu.com.